Now, if there were an award for the most controversial camera, this thing would win it. I mean, that is so not straight. What are you doing? Over the last 12 months, that's been one of the most difficult things I've had to tackle. So it is a brand new month. We are into, oh my God, I've not got my smartwatch on. We're into June, it's the 4th of June. And starting off with all the stuff, what is not very fun, as always. This morning, we've got a guy coming in, electrician, to test our equipment as a location, wants us to have that certificate before we bring in lighting. And then secondly, I'm into review mode. We are reviewing the GH7. It is still under embargo right now, but by the time you see this video, it will not be. I'm filming it right now. One of the crazy new features that this camera has is it has 32-bit float audio. I'm using a little Hollyland lav here, but I don't actually have to set any audio levels as it cannot distort, which feels weird, but good. Overall, this month looks pretty promising compared to last month, what was not my best month ever in terms of how much work we had on. But as I mentioned last month, that could all change really fast. From what looks like a great month can soon turn into a bad month, and vice versa. On to the university shoot here, and the damn drone has given us that camera malfunction error once again. We lost about 20 to 30 minutes here, which is just unacceptable. So I think we're gonna have to fork out for a new drone. Then it was on to a recce. We're going to be capturing interviews in here, so the main things we're looking for on this recce are what lighting needs we have and what sound issues we have. We worked out we needed to get an aircon turned off and we needed to hire in some neg film. This is pretty cool here. I'm walking down steps handheld with a GH7 on image stabilization. I just thought it was really cool how it looks so much like a gimbal. Onto the Brano here, we're capturing plates. We're going to do a sky replacement in the background of a shot we got in the last vlog. We're shooting 35mm with the polarizer. Cool little thing here is the polarizer and a black mist come in the kit if you buy the Nisa prime lenses, which is a pretty cool addition. I mean, that is so not straight. What are you doing?
I hate it, ready? From now, this is where it's going in. Ready?
Right, on to the interview now. This is the room that we did the recce in, and this is the interview. We're shooting 35mm on the Brano full frame and 50mm on the Blackmagic full frame for camera B. We are lighting with a Nova at 21%, and this is my brand newest light, which is in for review. This thing is really great value for money. Video on this soon. For audio, we're running the Mix Pre-3 into the Deity microphone and Tascam for backup. I think this came out really well. We used a bit of neg fill, tweaked and twisted a little bit, but yeah, overall happy with the result. Now this is super interesting because this is the first ever time I've used an E-mount lens on the Brano, and that gives us AF. And to cut a long story short, I was super impressed. It was not that the AF was really good, as expected, it was more how well it mixed with the Cine glass. The G Master glass is so good and has come such a long way. First location done, moving on to the next one. Lunch break. Let's go. Off to the countryside for the next location and a little bit of a hike, but nothing too bad. The lens we're actually using is hired in, and it is a 24-70 G Master Mark 1. And I was really impressed to say it was the Mark 1. Just at the last location, which is a coffee shop, hence why it's so noisy. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock. We've been at it for 6-7 hours now. Starting to flag, but I'm sure I'll get a second burst of energy soon. Just like the last university commercial we did, I also am grading this one. As you can see here, I did get a reference grade from the agency and editor, so I was using that to match up, and you can also see there's a lot of post-production work going into this film. We're replacing pretty much every single sky, so there's a lot of blending and tweaking, also colour grading, colour correction, and on top of that it's going to an animator to draw over characters. My next job was at Media City. For anybody who does not know what this is the home of ITV and BBC here in the UK in Manchester. This is more of a broadcast / live studio place, but we was actually coming in to capture some interviews. It's the same setup as before. It's the brand new light. Also, we'll be using the Nova and some flags in there. We've got the 25mm on the Brano this time and the 50mm on the Blackmagic full frame. We're using the other interview as a reference as we want to frame up matching as it's in the same edit. We end up removing the flag and adding an f22 into the background here, but overall see how big the window was. It come out pretty well. Next job is a fun one. For anyone who does not know who this legend is, this is Big John. He has a massive online following and he is the dad of prospect boxer Johnny Bishop. These two have an incredible fan base and following, and our job was to come in and capture them doing a meet and greet with a lot of fans in their local community. This will be turned into a VT that will roll on fight night, what the broadcaster will play. The Brano is absolutely made for this type of shoot, and it was a breeze.
Hetty? Hetty?
She's got a really fancy.
No farting. No, you just had a sausage in batter.
Well, it has been a super busy week or two. Balance between YouTube and production work and then family life is becoming tricky. Over the last 12 months, that's been one of the most difficult things I've had to tackle. I'm always trying to improve and get better. I've been shooting for the last 2 nights. I've been in hotels. Today I'm back in my home city. Just come down to the office this morning just to try and do a little bit of YouTube stuff, as I felt so far behind. I have had to send items back because I've just not got the time to review them. And also I'm turning items down, what I mean, asked to see if I can review them, and I really do want to review them and I've just not got the time. Currently filming on the GH7 Arri Log C. Not sure how this looks, but excited to see and compare it. While we're talking about the GH7, there has been an insane amount of film equipment drop over the last week or two. I don't know what has kind of happened, but like it's like all the manufacturers have had a really quiet start to the year, not including Blackmagic, but everyone else has kind of waited until now to just start throwing cameras and lights. Just looking at some of the new stuff here, we have the GH7 that we're on now with Arri Log C internal row. We've got the brand new C400 from Canon, what I could rant a full video on all by myself. That thing looks incredible and really well priced. We have a new 600C Pro 2 from Aperture, which I've always wanted that light, and now there's a Mark II, that's even better. I want it even more. They've also released a 4 light kit for Infinibars, which I'm super interested in and probably might be my next light purchase, as I've always wanted Infinibars but never really needed like 8 or 16. The 4 kit would be perfect for me. There's a couple additions as well to them. You can now power them with one power supply. They come in a nice case that's made for 4, which is lighter. Obviously there's benefits for that, and it's much cheaper. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that, and sometime soon, hopefully, gonna pick one up. I also have a couple of deliveries. The first one being this thing that I have in for review. I mean, this is a battery, and it kind of shows how sad I am as a person to say I'm super excited about reviewing a battery. But the whole point in it is it's much more than just a battery. This thing does everything. So I've got that one in for review, and my second item is actually something I bought with my own money, and it is a new lens. As you've seen over the last couple of days, I've been using autofocus for the first time on my Brano, and if you didn't guess, I'm super impressed for the quality of the lens, the way it mixed with my cinema lenses. It's kind of made me rethink a little bit, as autofocus definitely has its advantages. So I have picked up this lens, which is a 16-35 PZ, standing for power zoom, but it is the f4. I was super tempted to get the f2.8, which is like $1,200 more than this. But after watching a lot of comparison videos, this one has its own benefits like parfocal, the power zoom feature, which the Brano can use on its handles. I'm gonna get into capturing the B-roll for the GH7, unbox these two guys, probably shoot on this new autofocus lens, see how I get on. Good opportunity to test it. But I'm running real low on time, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. Back onto another boxing promo here, and this one was another cool one. We are with ex-world champion boxer David Avanesian. He has been in with the likes of Terence Crawford, and it was pretty cool watching him do his training routine. It was a great opportunity to test out that new power zoom, E-mount lens. It made it so easy following the box size. Everything is fast paced and it just allows us to capture more B-roll and allows more of it to be in focus. It was then time to jump onto 2 different interviews. The first one was his trainer. We kept all the same equipment but just flipped into a different direction to keep things nice and fast. And then it was time to interview David himself using the same equipment, just shooting a different direction. I feel like today's boxing went the best so far. I still think we can improve, there's still little tweaks. Using that AF lens on the Brawner helped so much. We were jumping between full frame and Super 35. So although it was a 16 to 35, the full extended range with including Super 35 was more like 16 to 55. And that kind of range for getting the B-roll stuff with amazing autofocus and with obviously what the Brawner has to offer in terms of image quality with its slow motion capabilities. It's kind of perfect running it on the shoulder. We did have multiple audio issues today. One, there was a gym next door playing music quite loud. So we went next door, asked those to turn it down. They did, so thank you to those guys. Next, a construction site below us, what was renovating the shop underneath the place where we was filming. So we went down, asked them, they told us it was not possible. So we tried our best to get the important parts in between the drilling and hammering. But it's just a part of life. We could have maybe asked to move the location, but taking the box out of the gym might have felt strange. We just did the best we could. But other than that, I feel like we're definitely getting better and it's good to see us improving. This is only 4th shoot we've done involving this type and style, so I can only see us getting better from here on out. As you may notice, with a full frame look, I am back on the S5 II for my vlogs. The GH7 has now gone. Kind of gonna miss it. Had so many cool features that I feel like the S5 II misses. But hopefully we get that S1H2, what kind of combines them both. Anybody who watched last month's vlog will notice that I had a quiet month and I was talking about how you can just stay consistent, always try and better yourself and things will work out. Well, this month, as of today, is fully booked. I have no more dates. I've been turning shoots down and I don't feel like I've done anything. I can't give you an answer to why that is. All I've done is the same thing I did last month and the month before. But coincidences, timing, or maybe it's just the economy. I'm not quite sure, but it always feels good to be fully booked. 2 more things I want to add into the vlog is, first, I don't put all my BTS inside the vlogs. Some people notice I might be doing something on Instagram that's not in the vlog, and that's simply because I'm just not allowed to capture everything. And secondly, a lot of you comment below asking to see the actual finished project. I finally got my first one, which is the first university shoot. So over the last 2 vlogs, you've seen me creating this TV ad, which is now live on TV in the UK, showing on like reality TV shows, before and after that sort of stuff. It is also in cinemas, showing before the new Deadpool. But yeah, let's take a look and you guys can let me know how you think it come out.
Knowledge never stops. At Sheffield Hallam, it's created. Your ideas innovated. Our teaching is gold rated. Here at Hallam, knowledge isn't just told, it's shared and shown and heard and supercharged. Educated, experienced and employed. What about real-world opportunities? Going far beyond the textbook, way further than the desk. Because knowledge never stops when knowledge is applied.
It's the next day and I have just been finalising the colour grade that has just been approved. So good news there, I can move on to some more stuff. And my camera arrived, which is the S9. Now, if there were an award for the most controversial camera, this thing would win it. Not something I'd normally review, but Panasonic offered it me with kind of no obligations, just to test it out, even if I do or don't make a video. When companies do that, it's almost like test driving a car where they obviously know you probably will make some kind of content on it, and they're probably right. I've got a couple of ideas inside my head. I plan on taking this out on a bit of a walk with my dog later and just finding out who this is actually for. I definitely know it's not for someone like me who earns a living off filmmaking, but I'm also someone who enjoys taking video. I do think this may be aimed at like a Fujifilm but for video, and if that's true and it works like that, then they may be onto something. I did once own a Fujifilm, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, and I did the whole kind of used to carry it around everywhere. I went to Italy, went to Rome, took some of my favourite pictures I've ever taken, but I'm not a photographer. But something I am is a videographer or cinematographer. So I love the concept of this being focused more towards video, but yet still trying to appeal to that side of doing it for the fun. So yeah, looking forward to actually testing, see if this thing is fun and easy to use. So we're vlogging S9 automatic. We've got an ND on with a 16 to 35 lens. It's pretty tricky for any camera inside these woods. I always kind of walk these woods anytime I get a new camera with my dog, just because there's these like spots of sun just peeks through and real dark kind of foliage in the trees. So I like to see how cameras do in these difficult scenarios. But hopefully it looks pretty good. It should in theory look exactly like my S5 II. And this kind of is where the S9 comes into its own for like content creation, vlogs. I still need to get the Lumix Lab app and test it out because that can like bake in lots and stuff, I'm not sure. But I'll have a mess around in there. Again, this is kind of out of my realm, but enjoying it. A lot of people seem to question why Lumix released the S9, and I guess the timing was not exactly great. I think what Lumix may have missed is with the S5 II being such a great value for money camera, Lumix have stolen a lot of like professional filmmakers, or maybe like shooters that have a full-time job and are earning money on the side, wanting to go professional. And a lot of shooters are starting to earn more money, wanting to invest in more gear, and they really want that S1H Mark II. They really want that does it all $3,000, $4,000 kind of A7S FX3 comparison camera. Something else I've noticed recently is every camera that is released, whether it's a new Panasonic Lumix camera, whether it's a new Canon C400, it's always a Sony killer. It's the FX6 killer, the Burano killer, the FX3 killer, and it just kind of shows how dominant Sony are right now, that everyone is trying to knock them off the top spot. But even the C400 has got some weird choices. It's like they have kind of picked specs that you can write on paper and be like, yep, these specs are incredible. This is some sort of Burano killer at the price of an FX6. The choices of no V mount, no PL mount option, no full-size XLR. I think Canon have been really selective in choosing what they do and do not allow you to use. They're like 3 massive features that people need on higher end sets. And if we're going off specs alone, I would choose the C400 over the FX6. So this is another interview job. We're just setting up here. I captured this on the S9 in OpenGate, so I thought I would leave it in OpenGate just so everyone can see what that looks like. This is the go-to setup again of Burano and B-Cam of Blackmagic full frame. I really like this location. It's one of my favourite interviews that we have captured in a while. Just think it feels like he belongs there. It's really like relevant, and I love when that happens. But it's the same lighting we've been using in all the other interviews in this episode. We had an f22, just adding a bit of light to the background. After that, it was onto B-roll with the autofocus lens, and everything went perfect. So as you can see, I'm here on the Burano capturing B-roll just under this softbox here of all these different batteries. The project we're working on is the review of the VB212 batch from Small Rig, and we have got Will working from home on that edit, and I'm here capturing the B-roll. Will is feeding back to me the B-roll he needs, just filling out the edit, giving me specific shots for words, as I've already recorded all the A-roll. And as you can see, I'm dumping them straight into Resolve. Resolve is making the proxies and feeding them over to Will. He is putting them inside the edit, all in real time, and also feeding back to me for more B-roll clips so we can get that thing done and released ASAP. People who've watched the channel for a while may remember that I give away a Crane 3S gimbal, and Dan, who was the winner of that gimbal, has just sent me some photos of him using it, and that is exactly what I wanted. It was on my shelf back there, just gathering dust, not getting used. So seeing it back in use for someone who actually appreciates it and needs it is exactly what I wanted. So that is pretty cool. Now if you want to watch any of the videos I've created inside this vlog, they're on screen now.